Hello, if you have not seen me before, if you have not watched my video before, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Blessing Izuchukwu. I teach chemistry and biology and I live in Nigeria. Okay, so today's video is for teachers like me. So I'm making today's video for my fellow teachers. I've spoken about how students can use past questions to help them get the kind of results they want, to help them get a very beautiful result. So how can we teachers, how can we use past questions to help our students? So last year I had the privilege of attending Cambridge Assessment International Education training on focus on assessment. It was enlightening and it was an eye-opener. So I'd like to share some things I learned from that training, and specifically I'll be sharing how teachers can use past questions to support their students. So as a teacher, you can use past questions to achieve a lot of things with your student. Number one, you can use past questions as an assessment guide. You can use it for formative assessment. So if you're an SS3 teacher, you're preparing your students for WAEC, and we have some schools that incorporate JAM tutoring in their activities. So you're preparing your student for WAEC, or you're preparing your student for IGCSE, or you're preparing your student for JAM or NECO or A-level or IGCSE or GCSE. You can use the past questions as formative assessment. You know what the formative assessment? Gathering information about student progress in order to inform your instructional delivery. So you can use past questions for formative assessment. You can also use past questions to guide your teaching, because the past questions will tell you what areas you need to focus on. So it's not just 1 year past question. You should have researched and gone through like up to 10 past questions, 10 years past questions, and that will help you determine the areas you need to focus more. Okay, this particular topic, like, it comes up frequently in this particular examination, so you need to make sure that your students are well familiar with that topic. Okay, as a teacher, you can also use past questions to differentiate instruction. What do I mean by this? If you maybe take a particular year and you give your students to work on it, okay, and you see that some students, they did well in organic chemistry. I'm using chemistry as a case study because I teach chemistry and biology. Some of the students, they did well in organic chemistry, okay, while a majority of them did not perform well in equilibrium, chemical equilibrium, and did not do well. So it means that you need to focus more on that chemical equilibrium. You need to help them understand it. Okay, as a teacher, you can use past questions to determine the weak points or the weaknesses of your students. You can also use it to determine the strength of your students. So if you give your students a particular year past question, let's say chemistry or biology or physics or maths, whatever subject you're teaching, give them a particular year to solve. So when you're marking it and you're giving them feedback, you'll be able to identify the areas of the subject that your students are struggling in, and you also be able to identify the areas where most of them did well. So if you give them chemistry paper, maybe 2023 WAEC theory, 2023 WAEC theory, and after grading, you discover that majority of the students did well in organic chemistry, and majority also, you have like 50%, you have like 70% that did not do well in stoichiometry. So it means that stoichiometry is not the strength of your students, and you have a lot of them do well in organic chemistry. So that means your students have their strength is more in organic chemistry. So you can use past questions to determine the weak points for your students and the strengths they have, and this will inform your instruction. So you need to spend more time, or you need to revisit that stoichiometry. And if you've covered the syllabus for organic chemistry, you may not really spend more time there again. Okay. You can use past questions as a teacher to teach your students how to get themselves familiarized with the examination style. So if you look at for those that teach international curriculum, if you compare AQA and you compare WAEC, you see that the way the questions are being asked is totally different. The way AQA or Cambridge asks questions is not the way WAEC and NECO is asking their question. And also the way WAEC asks questions is totally different from how JAMB asks questions. So you are going to use the past questions to help your children familiarize themselves with the examination style of the examining body. So based on the examination they are preparing for. If you're in a school where they are writing both WAEC and IGCSE, I know by now you're already familiar with the fact that IGCSE way of asking questions is totally different from WAEC. So you use the past questions based on how your schedule is with your students and help them get familiarized so that they will not be answering WAEC questions the way they should answer IGCSE, and they will not be answering IGCSE questions. They will not be answering IGCSE question in WAEC. Okay, so you know, for Cambridge exam, they use more of this command word: describe, explain, suggest, predict, deduce. Those are their command words. So I hope this video helps you. For more videos like this, follow this account.